Good morning, world. My name is Liz Hathway, and this is my astrological look at the week ahead. And that's the week starting Monday, the 6th of May, 2019. So the moon is moving into Gemini today. And when Mercury moves into Taurus later on today, it's Monday, then there will be a very nice reception, mutual reception there for about until Wednesday morning between Mercury and the moon. It's a nice reception. It gives us an opportunity to talk about our feelings, to share our ideas. Mercury is also very much related to business, very much related to trade. And Taurus, of course, is very much, as an earth sign, it's very much about fertility and this ability that earth has to produce and bring forth fruit. And so it's a very lucrative mutual reception as well. So this is great energy for closing deals of any kind, and that there's a sort of a fruitful feel to that mutual reception. Mercury, when it's in Taurus as well, is Venus ruled. Mercury in Taurus it's a slow mind. Aries was very fast, was very hot, very fiery, very creative in many ways. Aries is one of the signs that runs ahead of the pack. It sort of feels things in the air and, really runs with them. There's that boldness to it, and an outspokenness and passion, and words, have fire, and words have intention behind them, but it's all kind of bursts. Mars, Aries, these kinds of fire, this kind of fire quality is very hot and impulsive. And then Mercury goes into Taurus, and Mercury in Taurus is much slower, takes its time to make up its mind. It's not hurried, it's patient, it's going to wait, it's going to think things through. It's slow to draw a conclusion about things, and it's like the words have more weight here. They're backed up by something very solid. So there's a definite shift here in communication, in how we perceive things, what we see as being important, what we want to share, what we want to talk about. But a very nice sort of start to this week then, with this creative burst coming really from this mutual reception. On Tuesday though, moon in Gemini squares Neptune. This is a sort of lost at sea, isn't it, kind of energy. It's water and air. It's a very creative edge here. When these two elements meet, it can be very fruitful. But there's also that sense of, needing to steer a little bit, or else, you're going to be like, the sirens. You're going to be that ship that's called onto the rocks. You really have to keep purpose and intent very clear. And that is where that mutual reception with Mercury is very nice. Because also on Tuesday, we see the feminine planets are in a bit of a storm, because we have Venus square Saturn, and also Venus square the nodes. So there's a sense of where this new direction is. It might involve us taking leave of the past, and there could be some pain or sense of loss involved here, certainly with Venus square Saturn. Sometimes when we change, when we start to want other things, we have to let go of certain people in our lives. We have to be prepared to feel that loss too, because when people have been with us a long time, if we're letting them go, it's not easy. And then we get to Wednesday, and we have Mercury conjunct Uranus. Now this is the first Mercury-Uranus conjunction in Taurus, because last year around this time that Mercury was moving into Taurus, the conjunction was just in the very last degree of Aries. So what we had was on the 14th of May last year, Mercury moved into Taurus, and then on the 15th, Uranus followed. So it was just in Aries. So this time we've got it for the first time now, this conjunction in Taurus. And it's interesting because there is that idea of Mercury and Uranus being the lower and the higher mind. There is that sense of these two coming together, a sort of conjunction. It's the earth here in a way has been impregnated, by sort of higher consciousness in a way, higher awareness, and it has a very revelatory feeling to it. This is something being revealed to us here. So it's very earthy. It's like a brainwave in a way. you know, so it's fleshing out, in also one way of looking at it, as I've written here, is fleshing out an idea that's good for me, that can nourish me, that can feed me, that can grow, because this is in the very early degrees of Taurus. So ideas can actually blossom and grow and get fed, and earth will replenish it, and you know, it's a seed. We've just had the new moon as well, so this is a very, very creative week following on from that new moon last week on Sunday, on I think it was Sunday the 5th, wasn't it? So Thursday, yeah, we keep on this roll. Sun sextile Neptune. This is really the creative imagination being opened up, opening up to the noetic, opening up to the higher, opening up to softness, to receiving gifts. You know, Neptune is an outer planet. It wants to give something, it wants to pass something on. And this is happening on the day as well that Venus trines Jupiter. Wow, you know, there's a real sense here of optimism, of faith, of love, of return as well, because Jupiter's retrograde at the moment. So Jupiter will be coming back. We can have some faith here. However, it is followed once again by some very difficult aspects to the feminine planets, and by that I mean a Venus square Pluto also on Thursday. So we've had that lovely sextile from Neptune to the Sun, that lovely Venus Jupiter trine, and then also on Thursday Venus squares Pluto. You know, surrender hope, all who enter here. This is hope's dashed against the rocks in a way, if you like. Pluto, you know, crushes what has not got that potential to survive. There has to be something real there, some real fundaments. And I basically think that has to be love, that it is love that can overcome anything. So we have that, but that Venus square Pluto, there can be a lot of negative emotions come up with that, a lot of anger, this is female anger as well, Venus square Pluto, this is rage here, Venus in Aries still, so this is rage. And it's followed by the moon's opposition to Saturn. So I have to check myself here where the moon is here. So that, yeah, that's the moon in Cancer, of course, opposite Saturn. So yeah, there is obviously this week a bit of a mixed bag. There's a lot of having to let go of things, I think, here. Let go of patterns, let go of people, letting go of situations. And there's a bit of a struggle involved in that. It's not a walk in the park. Because Friday we have then moon opposite Pluto, so we can see the female planets are really having to absorb and take a lot this week. They have to really, but Venus is still in Aries, so we have to be strong. We have to, you know, we have to show our strength really. And it's followed on Saturday by the Sun trining Saturn. So I always think the Sun trine Saturn. These are the kinds of gifts that are given because they have been earned, because they are deserved. They are what we have actually coming to us. This isn't luck, this isn't fortune, this is sheer hard work. The hours have been put in and there is the reward. So it's a great week, it's a great week. I haven't written anything for Sunday, I'm just checking here. I haven't got my glasses on, so I might miss something, but we are ending the week with the moon in Leo, which is a placement for the moon which is full of strength, full of dignity, full of pride in its own accomplishments, love of its children, love of its, you know, creative projects as well. Faye Blake Coster and I have a workshop on Sunday, so this is great energy to be taking into that. I'm afraid our workshop's full, by the way. Anyway, just saying. I'm going to wish you all a fantastic week. Thank you so much for listening. Bye for now.